All right, bet. Um, welcome, my boy. Appreciate you.
Type
Thank
shit,
you
type shit.
for coming here. I don't know if you've seen any of the other podcasts, but I like to do like a little introduction for my special guest. Let the people know who I'm talking to. Feel me. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so I wrote a little something for you. I'm happy to introduce one of my best friends and someone who I would consider as a brother. He is the best high jumper I have ever met and probably will ever meet. He is a fantastic dancer and never afraid to hop in the middle of the circle at the function. A great appreciator of books and movies like myself, he is one of the first friends I have ever made. I am proud to introduce my guy, Ethan Bryant.
Much appreciated, much appreciated.
Of course, of course.
Likewise, likewise. Day one, for real, for real. It can't get
Okay.
more day one, for real.
No cap. But all right. So without further ado, let's hop into it. One of my first questions. So like on the channel, I have something called the Verse Meter, which is just where I rate movies or TV shows on a scale of 0 to 100. So
Mhm.
Percy Jackson, what are you giving that from 0 to 100?
Mm. This is just solely the show, right?
Solely the show. Solely the show. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Mm. I don't know. I feel like my answer might be biased a little because I read the books and then like they came back out with the show, so it's like all that nostalgia like rushing back in.
Yeah,
So like,
fair, fair.
but I'll give it like a dang. I'll say like an 85. That's what I'll give it. I'll give it an 85.
Okay. I thought that's
How
valid.
about you?
I would say I think around there. I think that's a good benchmark, like 87, because like you
Yeah.
had read the books and was super excited to see it on the the screen or whatever. And I feel like they got some stuff right with it, but I feel like they also kind of messed up at times, which is
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit.
a
But they
little.
did get more right than like seen in like the past movies and stuff,
Oh,
which I
for
appreciated
sure.
a lot. Like it was way more book accurate than any other like real life action that was filmed.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's why I think did so well, and why I'm looking forward to the next season because I know they killed it or not killed it, but like it's definitely a lot more promising than the movies that we
Mhm.
got.
Nah, for sure. I'm excited for the next season. The plot developed well too.
Yeah. That okay. Oh, okay. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to it. If I
Yeah, we
had
don't
again
got
myself. So who is your favorite and least favorite character from the show?
mm, all right. My favorite gotta be Percy. Like obvious, like that's like it's
Uh,
hard not to be Percy because like you just see how he changes because start of the show he's just like a regular like kid, like he's not there's not much special about him, like
hmm.
and then like you just see him just take off the second he gets to camp and stuff like that. So before he even got to camp for real.
Yeah,
So
he's
that's my
legend.
favorite character. Like that scene where he gets in the water and he gets claimed, like that's
Yeah.
so like yeah. That's up there in like my scenes of like any like anything.
Hmm.
Like getting to see that in person, like visualized was great.
That was cool. Yeah.
And then least favorite,
Yeah. Who was you not
mm,
rocking with?
who am I not rocking with? Let me think. Let me think. Mm, I don't rock with Luke. Obviously, you're not supposed to rock with Luke for real, but
Yeah.
like it's just
Yeah.
like it's so hard seeing him be so friendly and like I just know like how he is for real. Like it just irks me like the whole show for real.
Yeah.
Because it's like you just see the Two Face, like obviously reading the books and like seeing the other older movies, you know exactly what happens. So like
Hmm.
you're seeing this and you're just seeing like a whole side of him that's not even him for real. So
Yeah. I feel like Luke. I also don't really like the actor. Like I don't know. That might just be
yeah,
me, but he just seems a little stiff for real. For real.
he does a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah. But
I can agree with that.
I would say my favorite is probably. I mean, I want to say Praise because I feel like he's good. Actually, Loki, Annabeth.
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say that.
Why you say that? Why you say that?
Out of everything. Um, I don't know, just because like I feel like she kind of fits you. Like she's a very like intellectual person. She likes to be a leader. So I feel like that's like you
Type.
fit with
Oh,
her well. And they casted her black in this
yeah.
show, which I know like everyone loves. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Except the white people, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, yeah, no, you. I mean, you pretty much hit it like spot on. Nah, I definitely liked Annabeth. I think that she was casted really, really well.
mhm.
I feel like it's hard when there's such young actors. Like, it's hard to get them to be good actors, but for the most part, they did pretty well. I would say my least favorite was Grover. Like I love Grover as a character, but that actor was booty, bro.
Oh, you're talking about the actor?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Like I love Grover, I love Grover, I love Grover. But the actor was
That's why I
like,
was like, well, you don't fuck with Grover.
no, no,
But I
no.
ain't
Of
gonna lie,
course,
yeah.
you got to.
Bruh, I ain't gonna lie, I do see that. Like the actor didn't kind of fit in because like for me, the image I had of Grover, like, yes, he was a little timid, but he also was like he was the one like, all right, we finna get this done.
Uh,
Like he was kind of the one to step up a little bit. Like I didn't really see that in the show.
yeah, he definitely was taking more of like a backseat role.
Yeah, exactly.
But I
But
guess
like
we'll get to see him develop more. It'll make that even
yeah, I hope he does. I hope
more
he does.
beautiful.
But there's still a far way to go because like obviously we've seen like we know about like the plot so far
Uh,
from what we've seen in the show. So
I feel like
he
that's the
does.
hardest part though. Like when you know what's
Yeah.
coming and like there's such
Mhm.
fire stuff, but it's like we still got to get through like the beginning stages of it.
Yeah.
But,
So I don't know. We do have a lot of time to see how people develop. So yeah.
but all right. So you already mentioned that one of your favorite moments was seeing Percy get claimed. But what would you say is like? Do you have another favorite moment from the show from the first season?
Um, Another one is when he fell out of the ark in St.
Mm,
Louis. Cause reading the book, like I ain't gonna lie, I was so confused in how that was supposed to work. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah.
So like, and then I also saw that like there's not even actually water under it. Like in
Yeah.
the show, it's not accurate. But either way, it was good to see like that actually kind of play out. Cause like in the books, I don't know, I was younger, so it kind of like caught me off guard. I don't know, but it was cool to actually see that scene like in front
Yeah.
of me.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm trying to think right now. I feel like at the beginning, like when he was running from the Minotaur
Hmm.
and like seeing him go crazy and like I forget exactly how it happened, but I just remember like it was a pretty cool scene. I was pretty impressed, and it was like the first episode said to make like a good impression on us, and
It did.
I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good show. Like, this is a lot more promising than the movies and all that. But
Hmm.
did you have a least favorite scene? Like something you thought
Least
was
favorite.
like poorly done from like the book, like it was really good in the book and then bad in the movies.
Hmm. Oh, that's a good question. I had to think about that one. Do you have one?
I'm trying to think. I didn't think of an answer first, but I feel like I had something in mind. Yeah, the end where Luke is like cutting like the camp thing, like like when
Hmm.
it's like what I'm talking about. It's like the
Wait, what?
very ending scene, and like he slashes like the shield or like the barrier of the camp.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
I thought that was just weird. Like I didn't think they needed to do all that.
yeah. I get that because I did. Well, I guess we'll see what happens at the start of the second season. So maybe they were trying to, we'll see.
But maybe, but I just felt like that. I didn't really like that. I thought that was kind of.
Um, my worst scene. I don't know a specific scene, but the Lotus part. I just feel like that. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
It was kind of the whole thing was kind of iffy. Cause then like when Grover's getting caught up, thinking he saw like his uncle or whatever, like
Uh huh.
it was all over the place.
Yeah. That part.
Like it
I feel
was
like
a
that
cool
part is really
concept.
long.
It was long, but like I guess it was supposed to be. But then like the way Grover got so caught up, like they did kind of play on that a lot. I was getting tired of that
Uh
because
huh.
like I was just getting angry. Like, all right, can he just lock in?
Like get up through, bro. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, I feel that. All right, bet. Okay, so going a little bit more in depth here. What character do you think that you're most like from the show, and what character do you think that I'm
Mm,
most like?
mm. All right. Um. Dang, that's a hard question. I feel like. Mm, I would say you're obviously most like Annabeth. I feel like I said a little bit on that before. Um, who do I feel like I'm most like? I don't really know. That's kind of hard. Mm, I would say, dang, I don't want to sound bad. I want to say Luke, but not if he was tripping, bro.
Okay, well
Like
explain yourself. So why you
the
say
Luke,
Luke like?
the Luke that's like portrayed,
Mm-hmm.
like that he portrays to people. He's like an outgoing person, like very friendly, like welcoming, like all of that. So like I feel like I see myself in that, but I don't see myself in like that all that other shit he doing, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's good. I think that's also really good because I feel like what you said when Luke or when Percy first comes. Luke's like the first one to befriend him and look out for
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
I can
Like I
definitely
fuck
see
with
that
him
in
for
you.
that shit.
Yeah, and I feel like also just how Luke is like he's like obviously like really good at what he does.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's like similar to you. Like if you're gonna do something, you want to be really good at it. And I feel like Luke
Yeah,
definitely resonates in that.
appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. And then for myself, I'm, I don't know. I might say Annabeth. I don't know if I would say Annabeth. I don't know. Maybe I'll say Annabeth for the sake of
I'm
this.
trying to think who else.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
not. Yeah, we don't have that many. Like I guess. Yeah, the cast isn't too big right now, so it's not like there's a lot of options.
yeah, and it's like not all the characters have enough depth to them, really.
Yeah.
So it's hard to really choose someone.
All right, but who would you most want to be your Olympian parent? Like, who would you want to be your godparent?
Mm. See, that's the most fire question.
Oh, appreciate it. And
Hmm.
and then the other part is who would you not want to be your parent?
I bet. Um. Bet. Hmm. Who would I want to be my parent? Obviously, got to be a big three. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to
Tight
be
shit,
powerful.
tight shit, tight shit.
Um. I don't know. It's hard because like nothing else besides in the big three that was introduced besides Poseidon's son. But like I know like about more from the
Yeah,
book.
yeah. You can use like knowledge of
Okay,
other.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Hmm. It's hard. Like I feel like it's super hard, bro. Because I feel like Zeus. I don't know what all Zeus's son was able to do like outside of lightning though.
Uh huh. He can
Like
fly.
oh, see, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, yeah, he
See,
can fly.
that changes the game. That changes the game. But then you also got to think about Hades because they're his son and
He-
daughter was like what bringing animals like
His kids
doing
are
some crazy
tough.
stuff.
His kids are
They were
tough.
doing some crazy stuff, bringing like animals and people back from the dead, like
Yeah.
control. Like they were just doing a bunch of crazy stuff.
Uh
Like if I had that in real life, I ain't gonna lie. Like it would like they'd have to like the government would have to come get me, bro.
huh.
Uh,
Menace to society. That's crazy.
yeah. But I feel like I would probably go Poseidon, like if it was like in real world, because like water's everywhere and like you
That's
could do a
true.
lot with water and like the water healing. Like you take a shower after like you just break your leg, you good. You take a bath and you good. Like
That okay? I didn't think about that.
yeah, so that's I mess with that, and you could just manipulate water, so
That's
that's
true.
cool. How about you?
Waterbender, for real, for real.
Basically.
All right, who would you not want to be a child of?
Oh yeah, who would I not want to be? Um, I feel like somebody like Aphrodite or something.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, that shit not gonna help that much.
Yeah, I'm cool on like Aphrodite. Like all the other like lower tier gods are cool. Like the ones that have houses and stuff.
Uh huh.
Like they're cool. Or cabins or whatever. Um yeah, they're cool. Not Aphrodite though, I ain't gonna lie. The rest I'll take like the rest aren't too bad. Like you might not get anything OP, but like it's something definitely something I feel like would be applicable like in real life still.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think I would pick Hephaestus, like
I knew you'd go
taking
pick him.
the
You
engineering
yo,
dude. Yeah, I feel like that would just be fire. Like be able to make pretty much anything, literally anything, with that
you could
ability.
make Cedar Point for real.
I could make you the point for real, make a top throw dragster that doesn't break, you know. So,
I thought of that because he built that amusement park
mm,
in the show.
yeah. Wait, real quickly on that, I didn't like that because I felt like
I
that
didn't. I
was
didn't really like it at all either.
like when Percy had to send the chair to turn to the gold or whatever.
Hmm.
I thought that was weird. Like that, it deviated too much from the books.
I did too because it was kind of just like they just kind of threw that in there. I didn't really like it either. And
Uh-huh.
then it was like I don't know, kind of just left it in a weird spot. Like it was in a weird spot for a minute. I don't know because like that kind of came out of nowhere, really.
Yeah, I feel like because like I'm trying to think of other things that they skipped in the book, but I feel like that's something that they probably could have skipped. Like wasn't like
Yeah,
completely necessary to do.
for sure.
All right. Okay, well, I guess this question is kind of more on like a bigger scale. But did you enjoy how they portrayed the first book? Like, do you feel like they did it justice?
Mm, I would say yeah, but like to me, I feel like there was a decent amount of action in this first season,
Hmm.
but like reading the book, it seemed like it was crazy, like way more crazy, like on an upper,
Yeah.
like higher scale.
Uh-huh.
That's like the only thing I'd really say. But overall, I did really enjoy it. But yeah, I just say like the actual action part, like I guess since like it's a younger show, like it's on Disney Plus, they can't really get into all that
Mm.
um like as much detail as like when you read a book. Um
Yeah.
so I guess that's really it because like the stuff like the way I visualized reading the book in my head, like it was crazy, all the scenes going on, and then like just seeing it like actually visualized wasn't like up to par for real.
Yeah. I feel like that's so valid because, like, I'll say, especially for Hades, like when they went to the underworld, like I
Hmm.
feel like when we saw the
Yeah,
castle, that was cool. But I feel like that was like just like the whole experience was kind of like underwhelming because like when I was
it
reading it, like
was.
you, like I'm just like thinking of
Yeah.
crazy things. I'm like they here, they like what they
Nah,
doing?
and then when the dog came, the
Yeah.
three-headed dog, bro, when I read that as a kid, I thought it was some like big huge fire. Like I thought it was some crazy like
Yeah.
it all was so crazy to me reading it like as a kid. So
You know,
that's
that was.
it was crazy.
And I feel like one thing that just came back to me that I didn't like is that because like in the books they talk about when Percy first met all the like gods, like when he sees them individually, like they're
Mhm.
as tall as like they're like 10 feet tall,
Oh
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
But then when he met them, they're all like 3 inches taller than him. I'm like, bro, like that's not even that intimidating. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I just
Oh,
thought that was
okay, but
cool.
that
Like
was I see what you're saying. That's a good point because they did. Yeah, well, we'll probably see that maybe later in the show.
I hope,
Maybe
yeah, something
like seeing
cool.
gods in like their other form or whatever.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like yeah, like they're always in like the human form,
Hmm.
which I wasn't really vibing with.
Yeah, yeah, I do want to see that. I do want to see that.
That was fire.
They'd have
All
to
right.
get creative with it though.
Yeah, they that I yeah I think that's the other thing because it's just like even though they have I forget what it was I think they had like a $17 million budget per episode or something crazy,
That's crazy.
but it's like there's still I guess a limit with that in that you
Hmm.
can't have like all the crazy visual effects and all that. But, all right, if you could change one plot aspect from the show, what would it be and why? So like changing a character's decision or motive, like something like that.
Hmm.
So like just like shake the story up a little bit.
Ooh, okay, okay, okay. Um, hmm. Dang, I know something I want to see happen that happened in the books, but that's like in the last book, so that's not even. But
Would it fit into this first thing though, or?
no, no, no. But
Oh,
that's like
okay.
that just popped into my head on the grander scheme of things.
Got you,
But it
got
was
you, got you.
Percy denied becoming a god or whatever.
That would be fire.
Yeah, when I read that, I was salty. But okay, let me focus. What would I change? Hmm, that's a hard question.
I'm trying to think of maybe an example I can pull up. Like, I guess it's tough for the first book because it's just like it's all like setting the foundation for everything else to come.
Yeah,
But
trying to think. I guess maybe just the hotel part. Like, I feel like there could have been way more action like put into it because like overall, I just don't like that part in general. Like, it was cool the book, but in the show, I didn't really like it that much. Just because
mm,
like it was just like Grover being delusional, and then like a bunch of other like stuff that was not like it was a lot of filler, I guess. Because
that's
like
fair.
they were just doing filler shit the whole time
Just
because like
anyways.
time was just passing. Um, I
Yeah.
don't know. So I guess maybe more action in that, so it's not as boring to me. That's just my personal opinion, though.
That's fair. I feel like that's fair. I feel like something that just came to my head. All the scenes with Ares, like how him and Percy had the beef, I feel
Hmm.
like that also just wasn't really believable. Like that was kind of underwhelming to me, especially in this show.
I low
Um,
key was thinking of that too. I agree.
so I guess my change would have been like I don't know something maybe a little bit more dramatic happening, like Ares, like like
Especially as he's the god of war. Like, show me something. Like
yeah, that's what
we
I'm
get
saying. Like go crazy.
I get he's just like a god in his human form messing around with a little kid, but like, hey, you gotta show him something. Like,
That's not like that's what I'm saying. Like I just think it was a little bit underwhelming in that sense. Just like,
Hmm.
and if because another big thing is, I remember when I first saw the show, like the first episode, my dad was there watching with me and my sister. She's also read the books, but he hasn't, and he was like confused because he didn't
Hmm.
read the books, and he was like, the show doesn't do enough to explain to people who haven't read the books, like it's
Ooh, that's a good
catered to like
point.
the audience who've read it. So what do you think about that? Do you feel like if you hadn't read it,
Ooh,
you would have understood?
Ooh, that's actually a great point. Okay, I feel like if I didn't read the books, the show would for sure be so much more underwhelming.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of like my viewpoint on it. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. So I feel like yeah, if people didn't watch or read the books, they wouldn't get like the same feel as people who did like when watching the show. Because like I said, like with the first question, like part of like me enjoying the show a lot was because like it brought me back to like my childhood. So for someone who
Mm,
just has no like they have no knowledge on Percy Jackson, I guess the show wouldn't be like anything too crazy to them. I think it'd still be a good show, but
yeah,
like the lore and the plot wouldn't mean as much to them as it does to us, I guess. Because
yeah,
like we see the plot and like we think back to the book and know like the depth of everything because the book went in
yeah,
so much depth. But like in the show, it doesn't. So like yeah, like you said, there's not some of the puzzle pieces aren't like presented that the people who read the books already had. You know.
yeah. I think that's a great point. I actually just thought of something because I was like thinking about Avatar: The Last Airbender. I don't know if have you
Mhm.
seen that show?
Yeah, yeah, I
Oh,
have.
okay, okay. I was like, I wonder if this show was animated, like if Percy Jackson was like an animated, like a not
Mhm.
cartoon, but like kind of like Invincible style. So it's not like it's
No,
like childish.
I get what you're saying.
Like, would that be better than like live action?
Nah, nah, I
No.
don't think so at all.
Okay.
I I think because some part of the appeal is that it's like Greek gods for one are already a real thing. Like not well, Greek mythology is a real thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like so like half of it is like that real life aspect.
Yeah.
Like when we were a
Mm,
kid, like and we read the books, all we wanted to do was like be a demigod, you know.
yeah.
So like
That's fair.
now we see like watching the show, we got to see like people be demigods. So I guess like if it was more animated, like it would take it away from that kind of like alternate universe, I guess.
That's fair.
That like what's the word? I don't know. Just like that feeling you had when a kid where you like just wished it was real, you know?
Yeah.
Like wish demigods and stuff were real. I feel like if it was a cartoon, like that would kind of take away from it a little bit.
Yeah. That just made me think of like Harry Potter, like kind of like
Yeah,
So I see what
exactly.
you're saying. I see what you're saying. That yeah. Yeah.
Like
Nah.
with it being live action makes it feel a little more real. And that brings in like the pull where they're like, oh shit, like this is basically just me watching like a different world, different universe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing I had that I think I thought of when I was thinking about Percy Jackson. But I feel like it did a great job of making me not feel like I was in like a completely different world. Like I could definitely see
Mm.
like it was like it could be another universe or something. Like it was like Earth
Yeah, yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Like alternate reality,
the
exactly.
alternate reality something, but not
Like
different.
it's similar enough, but like obviously, like it's not the stuff happening in the show. You're not going to just expect to see out your window, you know.
Yeah.
But like they like obviously they're implementing a show for a reason, so it's not you're not going to just believe everything you see to be real. So that's the point of fiction. But
hmm
like live action fiction, I feel like is I like it.
All right. So knowing what you know now about like how the first season ended, if you could give Percy a pep talk like before he starts off on the journey to find the lightning bolt or the lightning thief rather, like what would you
Hmm.
tell him? Like what would your advice to him
Um,
be?
can I be explicit?
Sure.
I would just tell him to stop being a bitch, bro. I ain't gonna like like I ain't gonna. That's really just part of it. But obviously, he's still got to develop. But like sometimes he's got to go get after it. And he did step up. He was stepping up in the show. Like when he sacrificed to leave himself back. I like I mess
Yeah.
with. I like I'm starting to see that. But like I feel like when it's time to get in the field, like I just want to see him sometimes. Like just remember who he is. I guess. But I guess the part is he doesn't really know fully who he is. So that's like
Mm.
kind of why he's held back a little.
Yeah. No, I think you're definitely right. I think it'll be good when he comes into himself.
Because
Probably
like
doesn't even have yeah.
he's like feared more than he knows. And like I wish he knew that more he was like how feared he was by people. Cause like to him, like this is also due to him. So he just like just a couple months ago, he was just that kid like in school, like that lame kid who couldn't read and shit like that,
Yeah.
who was all like with ADHD. And then now he's like one of the a son of one of the big three, and there's no other no other big three children out there. So like he's super powerful, and I guess like he doesn't fully understand it yet. Cause like you see like how much he's talked about like throughout like all the gods and stuff. And like how like yeah, he's just talked about a lot, which shows like he's feared. So I
Mm,
just want him to, kind of step into that a little more. But obviously he does have a lot of time. So
got you.
for real, just tell him be ready. I ain't gonna lie.
That's a good point.
Something.
Yeah, I think I just tell him like trust Annabeth and trust Grover and
Yeah.
like like
In
y'all of
yourself.
them niggas for real. So
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, remember it. Like, they see the stuff they're doing. Like, I don't know. They take some of like their accomplishments for granted. Like, they are just some little children. Like, and they made it so far. So like, they gotta remember that sometimes. Like, I
yeah,
feel like they're very quick to panic, but I guess that's how it's supposed to be. They're children, so can't expect them to just boss up like that.
and I do like that's one of my favorite things about the show as well. How they are like kind of close to the ages rather than the
Hmm.
movie where like they're
Yeah,
all
the movie they're damn near
older than
teenagers.
me. It's
Yeah,
like that's not believable, but
they're
yet
damn
here
near
they are
2-year-olds in the movies.
actually trying to figure it out. So I feel like it makes it more believable and
Hmm.
realistic for sure. All right,
Yeah.
and probably one of my last questions, if not the last one. What are you most looking forward to for the seasons to come? So, what moment from the books
Okay.
are you
Hmm.
most looking forward to?
Mm, the labyrinth. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Ooh, that's a great answer. That's an
I'm trying
excellent
to
answer.
see that. I'm trying to see that because like if they do that the right way,
Uh huh.
if they get far enough in their production, like that's that they could make that so tough.
That would be tough. That would be yeah. They would have to do that right though. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if they do it the right way, that could be tough though.
lock in for that, and then by then we'll have like I'm excited to see Nico. Like I feel like they got to get
Mm,
his character right.
they do, because like in the book, like I go I just pictured like school shooter for real.
That's valid though. Like
Like a
when he,
black long sleeve hoodie with the hood on, like just
yeah,
like this. Like that's kind of what I just pictured him as.
they need someone that's ready to be on demon time though. Like someone
Yeah,
that just like don't care.
for real.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
excited to see him too, though.
and that'd be good. And then also like Talia, I know. I hope they pick like a bad
Mhm.
actress. You know what I'm saying? Like get that right too. Tight. But
Nah, that's valid though. That's valid though. That's valid though. Because like the actors do matter heavily. Because like the viewers or like the old fans have an image that needs to be kept up with. Like there's a standard they need to keep up with for the people who are like longtime fans.
mhm.
Like, because like we're gonna have higher standards than people who are just watching the show because they saw it on Disney Plus. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like one thing that I'm really looking forward to is the next season, the next book, because I feel like in this book they pretty much stay in like America the whole time, so it's
Hmm.
like it's easy. I feel like it's easier, like that's easier to film and record and all that. But when they
Yeah.
actually for the second book have to go to these mythical places, these
Mm,
islands, I want to see if they're actually gonna put in the effort and make it look fire. Because I feel like
that,
they can like
that's true.
actually go to these places, like go to places that would actually be the most realistic to it, or they could just do it in a studio or something and make fake
Yeah,
places, fake locations.
that's true. Like they have so much like room. Like there's so much potential. Like they just have to get it. You know.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
like obviously they have their budgets. Like there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it. Like we can't just make our imagine that like imagination to like production. Like there's a lot more that goes in between that connection. So
for sure. But
so I'm just hopeful that they locked in.
they got a good base to start with though. Like they did
Hmm.
well setting the
For sure,
structure.
for sure.
But
I agree.
that's all the questions I got. Thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate you.
I enjoyed it a lot. Love talking about Percy Jackson. That's always been like my favorite book series. So
Of course. Well,
we got to run it back when more episodes come out for sure, and then we
we'll
can look
have
back
to.
and compare our answers.
We for sure will. All right. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
Of course.